Okay, guys, we're gonna be looking at the Aussie dollar, and then the Aussie dollar. Disregard whatever I have right here. We'll talk about these all these zones right here that I have right here. Anyhow, we're still pretty much off the. We bounced off the monthly. Anything has to do with purples are considered my monthly support and resistance. Anything has to do with red are considered my weekly support and resistance. Um, Nothing really to look at on the monthly, and neither on the weekly. Actually, on the weekly, we broke the weekly resistance, came back down, now considered as support, and it bounced off, pretty much shooting towards this upper resistance area on the weekly. And let's go ahead and look at the daily. Last week, guys, we were talking about. Before I continue, actually, um, I think I'm going to start doing, which I actually already explained on my previous video. What I'm going to doing, what I'm going to be doing, explain further on, because the levels that were hit, they pretty much happened in the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday. I think by Wednesdays, the levels were already hit. So I'm going to explain further on, explain further levels on whether we go up or down, and just for levels to be um, just kind of be uh, just be aware of these levels. And I think that's one thing I forgot to mention on my previous video. So let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour level. And last week we were talking about, I think we were right around here, because these are the zones that I have jotted down. Uh, Hold on for a second. I think my computer just froze. And last week we were talking about these levels, and I have these levels marked down, and we were talking about the 63.75, 63.70 area, 64.50. Um, I did engage on a long at the beginning. Once again, this happened all at the beginning of the week. We were talking about the 63.70, but let me go to narrow this down on a 30-minute chart so we can actually see what happened and how I took this trade here. This happened towards the beginning of the week. Actually, no, this was actually based on the 2-hour. There you go. So it happened right around here. Um, it didn't necessarily hit the 70 area. I think we were up here already. We had already broke down. So we were actually expecting the 70 to hit. We didn't come down towards the 70. The beginning of the week happened right around here, and as soon as I started seeing that price was just kept on going higher, I pretty much went ahead and placed a market order, and my entire market order covered the 80. I think it was 83 or 85. Let's just say 85. Pretty much covered this entire zone. And then the next level of interest that I said, hey, you know what? We should be looking out towards the 64.25. By that time, I think I had easily hit a 2-to-1 on this trade, or a 1.5. There you go, 1.5 to 1. Uh, so that was already hit target, and I didn't want to deal with it until I get a 4-hour candle. Let's go to the 4. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. For me, the 64.25 was a level of interest where I needed to get a 4-hour candle breaking off, and we certainly did get it. But see, here's the thing. I got too pretty on this trade, and it didn't hit my entry. All right. So I'll explain what happened here with me in my situation. Since I pretty much trade off quarters, I waited for the 4-hour candle. I got that. And then I went ahead and put my entry on the 64.25. Now, we can't see the level here, but if we actually drop it down to a 30-minute chart, the 4-hour had already broke, right? And this is the level that I was looking at. This is entire level, right? No background, so we can actually see it. That's the entire level that was there. All right, I could have actually just placed the entire level and say, you know what, that's my stop loss, and let's go ahead and write it back up, right? Or I could have actually done 2 entries, 1 entry here, 1 entry here, and my stop loss would have been probably at the 63.75, having 2 entries. There's different ways how you could actually play this, right? The problem is that it never came back down. It did come back down towards the 35 level, okay? My entry was at the 64.25. And it didn't trigger me. Uh, but if I'd actually would have taken the entire zone, then yeah, I would have taken it. But if there's no if and whats or could have, should have, would have in trading, it's either you place it or you didn't place it in, and hey, it's what's done, it's done. All right. So that was a trade that I completely missed, and that would have actually that would have paid out really really well. I could have been a happy man right there, right? Anyhow, could have, should have, would have. Never, nothing happened there. All right. So what happened? So what I'm going to start explaining now is that we came into a 6-hour level, and that's why I have these down. Is we came exactly to a 6-hour level that I had it on my other charts, but uh, I didn't really bother placing it here because I didn't think we were gonna head that out. So now I'm actually gonna take it one step further with these videos, just pretty much explain it to the extreme levels. So right now, what's happening is that we bounced off that 6-hour level, and let me get rid of these zones right here. And let's go ahead and take it back up to the daily chart so we could actually um, label what levels do we need to focus on, and these are our levels. And maybe, all right, so let's go ahead. So the levels that we need to focus are pretty much the 65, 65, 65, 70 area, let's just say that, and 62, 75. Let's just be random, just kind of be precise here. Not being too precise here, anyhow. um so these are the levels that I'm interested, right? So but because I need to break these zones, I can't really be biased whether I'm short or I'm long, because we were on an uptrend channel, and there's a level right around here that once again it looks like it's going to come down and retest the level that we went long last week. But I'm not, this is not a set and forget anymore for me, because it could very well come down towards the 63.25. I forgot to put another area of interest right here. That's another level, 63.50. It could very well bounce off this demand, level of interest, level of interest. It could very well come down to the pivot. So for that reason is why this is not a set and forget. The way I'm going to play this is that um, if we go back to the dollar index needs to shoot up for this Aussie dollar to go down to my level, right? So the 65, let me go ahead and let me go ahead and bring the dollar index once again, so that way we don't, there you go, that's the dollar index. So, and 4 hour, sorry guys, let me go to bring the 2-hour level. So we need to really break it. I'm sorry, let me take it one step back. If we break this 450 and it goes down towards our next level of interest, then that means that our Aussie dollar should go up, right? Let's take it one step further. If the dollar index shoots up and we get a 4-hour level, that 4-hour candle that breaks this 44.75 and it shoots up with the pullback, then if it shoots up our dollar index, these levels are not going to get respected. Most likely we're going to come down towards 63.50, 63.25, and I'm not interested. I'm already biased long on this one, so I need to see how these levels are going to get respected. Remember, for the people that don't know how I trade, I'm explaining all of these, and last week I explained maybe what, like 7 or 9 trades, and I think I only took like 6 good ones. No, actually no, five good ones. Um, and I didn't write the entire thing like the euro dollar or like the Aussie dollar, right? I'm sorry, or like the Aussie dollar. Um, so it's they have to play out, and I have to have different game plans. So for me is that if we come in towards this demand and we start creating a hesitation or sideways bias, and then we break up, then that's my next level of interest, the 65, and then taking it back up towards the 65, 75 area. my next 6 hour zone. If that doesn't play out, guys, I really need a 4-hour candle. The only way I would actually short this, I really need a 4-hour candle breaking below the 62.75, and then that's my 8-hour zone, bringing it all the way down to the 6200 area level. But so that's a game plan. How I plan on pretty much trading this Aussie dollar, guys. Any questions? Just go ahead and leave comments. I'll see if I could reply. If not, I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care, guys.